So my first experience for propaganda came when I was just learning, I guess you could say, how to look at visuals and think for oneself, right? So I guess you could say I was around maybe 5, 6 years old, and I could tell you guys from the age of like 5 to maybe 9, I remember just constantly seeing images of a burning airship. So I've been looking into, airships, and it's kind of strange because I remember I used to see Goodyear blimps when I was a little boy too. I don't see those anymore. Very strange. So basically, in the early '80s, they still had the propaganda going that airships were dangerous. I remember, the rock group called Led Zeppelin. I remember that, and I remember how it's almost like that group was used as part of the propaganda machine against, that airships were dangerous. So that just goes to show you guys, like, I feel like an old person now. Like I came from a time where they were still initiating the propaganda. Their airships were dangerous. So from what I understand, they said that the Hindenburg exploded, and so they deemed airships dangerous. Well, I'll be the first to tell you I don't believe that. I believe that's garbage. I believe it's total propaganda. It was the first propaganda I've ever been exposed to. I'm just learning today what those airships. I'm just learning today what was really going on inside those airships, because when I first seen it as a little boy, I thought it was just a commercial vehicle. I didn't think that they actually had full restaurants on there with live orchestras. Another thing too I want to say, guys, about the Uptown Theater, I get this strange feeling about the reason they didn't keep the Uptown Theater going, because I've been reading a lot about, or hearing a lot about aesthetics and how they work, and geometrical shapes that are designed into architecture. See, these are the type of things I'm actually interested in. I'm interested in history. I'm interested in architecture. I'm interested in free energy. I'm interested in things that uplift humanity to where it's supposed to be. Now, as far as me saying that these people don't deserve freedom and stuff like that, there's a cognitive dissonance with me there. It's like I want these people to do right for themselves, but you can't have certain things unless you have a society of people that openly accept change. You could say change and all you want, and people don't want to change. And again, it starts off from fundamental things. You get up in the morning, you have a choice of what you're going to put in your body, what you're going to eat, what kind of water you're going to drink, what kind of content you're going to look at on YouTube. As to why they actually got rid of the airships, who knows? It had to be a multitude of reasons. First thing they say is, well, it's because of the banksters. Blame everything on the banksters, or are they just scapegoats for something else? There's got to be some other reason than just the banksters. I think it's a lot of reasons. But just to end it, that was my first propaganda experience. I'm having all these flashbacks when I was a little boy and hearing like commercials about Led Zeppelin. They will always show that Hindenburg blimp explode. It was a pretty scary sight for me to see that as a little boy. I didn't understand what was going on. I just remember a bunch of flames and a big old airship that looked weird. So I'm watching these videos about these airships, and it's bringing back these memories of me being a little boy. I said, well, I'll be damned. I said that's when the propaganda machine on the airships was nearing its finality in the mid '80s.